God knows what He's doing. And we need to know what God has done, what God will do, and what God is going to continue to do. And the only way we can know that is to turn to the Scriptures. Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan Burns, and thank you for joining me on Tuesday Tips, Practical Tips from Poetry. This is a program designed for you and to me to take God's Word and to learn more about it every day. Now, you may not be a Christian today, and I want you to know that the Bible has all the answers. But if you're looking for someone to help you out with those answers, with the Bible information, go see the folks over at the Jurong Church of Christ. If you're in Singapore, they're at 120 Boon Lay Drive. You can go visit them there on Facebook and see what's going on with them, or you can go to their website at jurongcoc.org. And there you can learn all sorts of things about them, learn who they are, get to know them, and then plan your visit to go see them there in Singapore. As we're in Tuesday Tips, we're looking at practical tips from poetry. And today we're looking at the idea of how God is described. And what we're going to learn as we go through Tuesday Tips, 3 things that will help us reverence and respect God. Here's number 1. God is described in the Psalms as all-knowing and ever-present. Psalm 139, verse 2. You know my sitting down and my rising up. You understand my thought afar off. Psalm 139, 7. Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? The psalmist here understands 2 things. Number 1, God knows. It's hard for us as mere mankind, man and woman, to understand what God understands, to see what God can see, to hear what God can hear. But God can see, God can understand, God can hear, because He is all-knowing. God is not like you and I, focused in a one-track way, stuck in a one-track mind, where we only see and hear what's right in front of our faces. And sometimes we're not really good at that, are we? But God is one who knows the rising of man, the sitting of man, the awakening of man, the sleeping of man. And God cares about man. God cares about what man does. God cares about what man is involved in. God cares about the plight of man. And we learn in the Psalms that God is all-knowing and ever-present. Isn't that encouraging? To know that God cares for you and God is concerned about you. Not only that, we learn as we look at the Psalms about how God is the creator of all things. Psalm 8, 3 and 4. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon, the stars, which you have ordained. What is man, that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man, that you visit him? Here the psalmist says, I look out and I can see this wasn't an accident. Scientists would have you to believe that this was an accident. Darwinism would have you to believe that this was just a change, an evolution. But God would have you to know He is the one that ordained the heavens, the skies. The sun, the moon, the stars, He placed them there. The works of His hands are evident. And then the psalmist asked this question: who is man that you, God, are mindful of him? Do you see something happening in how God is described in the book of Psalms? God is concerned about man. And not only that, we see that God is concerned as the worker of redemption. Psalm 111, 9 and 10. He has sent redemption to His people. He has commanded His covenant forever. Holy and awesome is His name. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all those who do His commandments. His praise endures forever. He has sent redemption to His people. God is described as the worker of redemption. Once again, He's concerned about His creation. How is God described? Throughout the Psalms, there are hundreds of ways that God is described. But I want to give you one that stands above them all. God is described as caring for you and me. all of those in the past and all of those that will be in the present, God is concerned about His people. And isn't it good to know that God is concerned about you? Don't forget, if you're over in Asia, you can go see the folks over at the Jurong Church of Christ. Go search them out, figure out who they are, and remember, you can always take the Bible and find tips to live. And today we've studied practical tips from poetry, seeing that God cares for us.